ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு சீக்வன்ஸ் மாடல்ஸ் ரிலேட்டடாக ஒரு ஆர்டிக்கல் பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தேன். ஸோ ஒன் ஆஃப் மை இன்ஸ்பிரேஷனல் பர்சன் ஆண்ட்ரிக்கர் பற்றி. ஸோ அவர் 2015 இந்த பிளாக் போஸ்ட் எழுதியிருக்காரு. நான் ஆல்ரெடி படிச்சிருக்கேன், பட் ஸ்டில் ரொம்ப நாள் கழிச்சு படிக்க சொல்லியும் இது இன்னும் அந்த கண்டென்ட் அவ்வளோ ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷாக இருக்குது. என்ன சொல்ல வர்றாருன்னா, யூஸிங் ஸோ தேர் ஆர் சில சீக்வன்ஸ் மாடல்ஸ்லாம் இருக்குல்ல, ஃப்ரம் ஸ்க்ராச் லைக் RNN, LSTMs. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணி எப்படி நீங்கள் ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் மாடல், கேரக்டர் லெவல் லாங்குவேஜ் மாடல் க்ரியேட் பண்ணலான்னு. ஸோ அந்த பிளாக் தான் இப்போ படிச்சுட்டு இருந்தேன். ஸோ அதுலேயே RNNலேயே டிஃப்ரெண்ட் வெரைட்டிஸ் இருக்குது, ரைட்? ஸோ பேஸ்ட் ஆன் த டாப்பாலஜி, 1-to-1, 1-to-many. ஸோ இந்த 1-to-1 என்ன மீனிங்னா, சிங்கிள் இன்புட் அண்ட் சிங்கிள் அவுட்புட், ரைட்? ஆர்கிடெக்சர் ஆஃப் RNN நம்ம ஒரு இன்புட், ஸோ ஒரு சென்டிமெண்ட் கிளாஸிஃபிகேஷன் மாடல்லாம் எடுத்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா, நீங்கள் டெக்ஸ்ட்டுன்றது இன்புட் டெக்ஸ்ட்டை வந்து இன்புட்டாக கொடுக்கலாம், அதுக்கு ரெஸ்பான்ஸாக என்ன சென்டிமெண்ட். ஸோ இது வந்து 1-to-1ன்னு சொல்லலாம். 1-to-many அதே மாதிரி ஒரு இன்புட் கொடுத்து மல்டிபிள் அவுட்புட்ஸ், அதே மாதிரி மல்டிபிள் இன்புட்ஸ் கொடுத்து சிங்கிள் அவுட்புட், இதை மெனி டு ஒன்னுவாங்க. மெனி டு மெனினா மல்டிபிள் இன்புட் மல்டிபிள் அவுட்புட். ஓகே, ஸோ மெனி டு மெனிலே 2 வெரைட்டி இருக்குது. அவ்வளோதான். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் தான் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் RNN ஆர்கிடெக்சர். ஸோ இதுதான் இப்போ பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தேன். அவ்வளோதான். தேங்க்யூ.
Hello everyone. In today's video we will see why are transformers a big hit. Hello everyone. Let's do a deep dive into why are transformers a big hit. What is the concept that is driving this transformers technology so that it is able to create wonderful applications like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Midjourney and etc. If I give you this task for a reading comprehension, how would you approach this? For example, I have given you a paragraph and then a list of questions. By reading these questions and by referring to these multiple paragraphs, you would derive the final response. But how would your approach be? Let's try to see that. So when I ask you a question, what did Mr. Frank press? You would not concentrate on the multiple lines or the multiple sentences within this context, but you would be focusing only on the areas where you think this answer might lie. So by reading the question as Mr. Frank press, you would be searching for the words like where is press, where is Frank, and whichever particular word or whichever particular sentence you think would be more relevant, you would be focusing only on that. So in this case, you would focus on Mr. Frank pressed, and then you assume this is where the answer should lie, and then you finally derive the response that he pressed the white lever, right? So this is how we humans also approach a problem. So this we call as attention system. By attention system, it means the focus area where we are focusing to derive at a final solution is what we call as the attention mechanism. So can we give the same attention to a transformer system? Can we give the same to a machine learning model? And that's what has paved way for this miraculous models using transformers technology. Let's try to understand about this attention mechanism using images. If I give you another task to describe about this image, how would you approach this problem? What would you do? Instead of going pixel by pixel, instead of seeing the various objects within this image, you would only focus on the items that are important to you, right? There may be grasses, there may be trees, there may be an empty vast area, there may be multiple objects. But if I ask you a question like, can you describe about this image? Instead of focusing on these multiple entities, your attention would go to only certain parts of the image. you would only focus on the girl and the main image object frisbee, and then you might see something similar to a girl throws a frisbee in the park. So instead of focusing on the grass, tree, or any other not that important objects or entities, you would be focusing on only these entities internally. So this mechanism is what we are trying to embed to these models as well. So this attention mechanism, when a model has got the capability to perform this attention mechanism, that's what has made this transformer so powerful and so popular. Let's try to see this in transformers context. Yeah. So if I get a sentence that the animal didn't cross the street because it was too tired, when I ask what does it refer to, right? So there are multiple entities within the sentence, but at any given time, if I ask what it refers to, how do you think the computer is going to approach this, right? Because not only seeing it as a word like a combination of alphabets, it should understand what it really is and what it is actually pointing to. That's really important to perform complex tasks like question answering, summarization, and etc. Let's see how the computer is approaching it. So by learning from multiple examples and through training with multiple iterations and models, the model has to learn that it is referring to the animal, right? If you see, the more intense line is between animal and it. So it will learn that if at any given point, if it is asked that what does it refers to, it has to focus on the word animal, because in this context it is referring to animal, right? So this is what the model has to learn. So there are multiple mechanisms and multiple examples have been fed to the model through which the model has learned to understand which word it should focus on based upon the attention mechanism. So for multiple words within this sentence, if it is able to correlate within itself, if it is able to understand which word is relevant to each other word, or which word within a sentence is influencing the other word in a sentence, it is called self-attention mechanism, right? So within a sentence, for a given word, what are all the influencing other words? If it is capable of capturing this we call as self-attention, and this is the powerful mechanism behind transformers. So to understand this much more better, like why do you need this? Like what am I going to do by implementing this attention, right? Let's try to understand that as well. Let's consider this word called bank, right? So when I say bank, it might refer to a river bank or it might refer to a money bank, right? So depending upon the context, it changes. So how can a computer or how can this model identify which bank it is referring to? As I said, it has to compare to the other words within the sentence, right? So that's what we're exactly going to do. So for a given word bank, instead of just reading that single word, it will have to focus on other words within the sentence. For example, if there is a sentence like I have deposited $500 in the bank, it has to know that the words deposited and $500 will have much more influence to that this bank refers to money bank and not the river bank, right? So by focusing and giving more attention to these neighboring words, it is capable of understanding that this bank refers to a money bank, right? So this is the concept of attention, and this is the major driving factor behind the success of these transformers model. Stay tuned for more video. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Thank you. Bye-bye. Voice audible? Are you able to listen to me? Thank you. Bye. And Om Gurubhyo Namaha. This is a positive start. Let me share this. This is my presentation. This is on the attention system. We have the focus area, we have the pop up, we have everything. Thank you.